You know, I am just putting it together, trying to make sure that everything is working. Right there. Okay, this is Dave, and today I'm just going to take some time and see if I can figure out how to get this OBS working. And while I'm at it, I need to put together some prints. It's actually just some pulls. I'm going to do bright colors with maybe some stamps, and the idea is just to be able to get this started. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking, but I will talk to you as we get going. So I see that Edward has joined us, uh, and I'll be talking. I'm going to have a little bit of delay because I'm on my iPad chat. So we'll see if you have any questions. Just go ahead and let me know, and I'll be reading as we go along. So let me get down to the plate. Okay, I'm just going to put some colors down, and we'll start out with something bright. Something nice and bright. Maybe add a little bit of orange in there too. I'm not looking for a finished piece of this. I'm just looking to get some color down and maybe some variation. What this is for is I've got a collage that's planned, and I'm hoping to get some prints that I can use to tear up and use in the collage. So that's the goal for today. Okay. I have some rice paper here that I'm just going to put down. Hold the print. This is going to be real time, so you're going to see me doing this a lot. So gives you a real idea when you're gel printing. A lot of times when I do my videos, I speed it up just a little bit because there's only so much rubbing of paper and rolling out of paint that will hold anybody's attention. So let's see what we have here. Yep, there's still some stuff down there, but that's going to work out nicely, and I'll explain as we go along what I'm doing with this. Pull the rest of it up. Actually, yeah, let's hold on that for right now. No. So can you hear? There on your side? And all I'm doing is I'm just pulling up what didn't come up on the plate the first time. And I'll be able to use these. So if it doesn't come up, that's not a problem. It will come up in the next layer. Did not come up. So let's see what we have. Put together maybe a little darker of these colors. Trying to find a place to put this. This is the details. Okay, a little bit darker of that. The way I can do that is I can take the yellow, I can take the orange, I want to make it just a little bit darker. This is going to change it slightly. Just add a touch, just a touch of a darker color. In this case, it's Payne's gray. Yeah, it might react here. It's going to maybe make it gray, which it did. I mean, not gray, but green, which it did because the Payne's Gray is a little bit on the blue side. Yellow. That's a lot of paint. Where I'll do that next time. See what we did over here. Because there's the blue, orange and blue is going to make kind of a muddy looking something. That's okay. Almost a purple, but not really. I will be doing, and write down in the description if you think it would be useful. I've asked the question before. I'm going to be doing a video very soon on basic color theory. Is something that I always struggle with, and I thought maybe some of you would benefit with my exploration of the details of color theory. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on top of and just throw some stamps down. These are foam stamps I got from I purchased from Joggles. All I'm trying to do is get some texture. Okay, I think I'll throw a little bit more of the yellow down. A little bit more of the orange on top. Kind of fix that problem that I have with a kind of a not so attractive color. My paints are drying very quickly. Hey, Edward, how are you doing today anyhow? I didn't ask. Wait too long. Maybe just a little too long. So to make that possible, just put down a little bit more yellow on the back. This is a different shade. This is actually nickel azo yellow, which is completely transparent, which will work beautifully. Yeah, we did with this. I may or may not get a clean print on this because I am a bit dry in here. All my paints are pretty much drying very quickly. Gonna get a very patchy appearance, but I can work with that. I'm gonna throw some more color down so we can pick up the rest of this. I just need to work a little faster, I think. It's mostly orange, so it's I don't know. Just keep it an orange side of things. I'm going to throw just a little bit of my, this is satin medium. Works beautifully for slowing down the drying time. Use it also to use it for a lot of different things, but it works beautifully in extending my time. I also have some open medium that does the same thing. Let's put this down. If I get some bleed over in the other side, that's okay. I'm assuming that you all can hear me. Leave a thumbs up in the comments if you could, if you can hear me. If not, you know, I'll know by. I'm going to give this a little bit of a dry for time constraints. Sorry about the noise. Blow it up my area. And I should explain, this is just a curling dryer. Basically, it's a hair dryer with 3 settings. Basically, there's a cool, there's a low heat, and a high heat. I generally just stay on the cool side, just to help me dry this up. And how I can tell when it's dry is as I use my hand to rub on the back of this to get the pressure. I can feel if it's still cold, it means that there's still wet paint underneath. And with this, with the gloss or the medium, it's going to do that. As I am seeing now, it's actually tearing up my paper. Let's see the direction. That's better. I'm using rice paper with this. I need to remember that I have to go slow. It's not my usual medium that I use. Key, when you start seeing your paper tear up, and this is good. This is good knowledge to have. If it starts tearing, it means you're going too fast, or your paint just got too dry. In this case, I was just moving too quickly. Yes, I did leave some. That's okay. See, I lost all this down here. It's not a problem. That's a nice variation. That's going to help. I really probably should find something with stripes or something a little bit more linear. Let's see what else I have. Help. This is going to be, the in run is going to be a, would maybe work for the next one. This is going to be a tiger. And so that's the in run with this. So let me take it over. Oh, good. Thanks, Edward. I appreciate that. I'll take it over and see what I can do next. But we're already in the yellow, orange side of things. I think I want to put a second layer on that first one, and this one. This is a color called parchment. change it up just a little bit. I'm going to add some blues in here because my tiger is not going to be your normal fare. It's going to be neon. So looking forward to this piece. All I'm doing is just getting some texture down. That's all this is about. Do that in probably several different colors. And let's see, let's pull this as is because I think there's enough paint down. Okay, this is not going to be very long today. I think that I may go for like 30 minutes. Although time does tend to get away from me when I'm out playing. That's all I'm doing today. And I have a plethora of papers that I can work with. And none of these papers are going to be used the way you're going to see them here. They're going to go in pieces. So I'm going to tear them up to make the collage. I like working collage with rice paper because there's a real nice texture in it, and it tears beautifully. And a lot of times you get this real organic look to it, and it's when you tear it. So it's a very nice paper to work with. And I'll leave that down in the description. But it's a sketch paper by, and it starts with a Y. I get it off of Amazon. Okay. Getting a pole. Like I said, things are drying very interesting. Side over here is wanting to leave paint down on the plate. But like I said, it's okay. Get some down here too. That's okay. Now because of the yellows, I got actually almost a little bit of a teal green with this blue. This is actually an Amsterdam color, sky blue. So there we go. That's going to be useful. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's do a green. And with that green, let's see. I think I'll change this up a little bit. Some green gold. This looks like a darker color, but trust me, it's not. It has a gold undertone. Yes, I do. I'm just going to use this is my Fern stamp. Just gonna stamp several of them down here. When the paint is this fresh, it doesn't always pull up as much paint as you'd think it would. But hey Debbie, it's good to see you. Just playing today. I'm trying to get my settings correct so that next time I do one of my lessons, you'll be able to actually see me and hear me. So that's what we're doing right now. I'm going to take that green, I'm going to need to put another color on top of that. So let's go back to the parchment. What am I? I'm still really wet. Don't want to do that. I accidentally didn't check well enough, so it's never too late to try to fix. Nicest things about gel printing is that nothing's ever a mistake. It's just an opportunity to fix. Maybe an opportunity to come up with something you didn't expect. You know, Debbie, you're right. And I like it when I call it grunge. That grungy look is actually it's useful because the texture is what you're after. You know, if you wanted to do nothing but solid color, hey Adrian, good to see you. If you wanted just but color, then you would paint the canvas or paint whatever you're working on. And I think this makes it so much more interesting, at least for me, to have that grungy look. Okay. I think I chit-chatted a little too long. I'm gonna have a real patchy look here. Like I said earlier, it's all good. Fix it in just a second. Kind of like that actually, because you can see parts of it. Put down maybe blue. Boy, that green gold is really nice. Do I want to do that? Let's see. I'm going to throw down a little bit of this is my phthalo turquoise. You haven't talked about the brands I'm using really that much. The phthalo turquoise is a Nova color paint, and I love my Nova colors. They work beautifully with gel paint printing. They're highly pigmented, so I never have to really worry about that side of things. But the end result is because of the consistency of the paint. I'm going to show you that right now. Consistency of the paint almost looks like it's kind of in between a soft body or a fluid body and a heavy body. So this is going to probably come out very green, because that's what happens when you add yellow and green. It'll come out a very dark green, and that's okay. And especially with this paint. I did this the other day. I wasn't crazy about the color, but I think we'll work with this. Strawberry. Okay. Okay. You can tell I did get some paint down, but I'm going to have to do something to pull this up. So I'm going back to my satin medium again. Those of you coming in a little bit after I started. I used this a little bit earlier. It's great when you have paint that is drying too fast, and I am. This we are. This is like one of my recurring themes for whenever I do my videos. Is I here in Arizona things are extremely warm. So, and side light on. Extremely warm, so when it's warm like this, it also dries extremely fast. So I use this in order to be able to give myself a little bit more working time. But the caveat with that is, yes, you also have to let it give it more time to dry. As you can see, it's actually coming through the back there. You can see that it's wet. So I'm gonna have to give that a moment to dry. So while I do that, maybe I'll just come over and talk with you guys face to face. Which one am I on? So there you go. What you're seeing here with this is that all I'm doing is I'm pulling some prints for an upcoming collage. Those of us where I think Edward was here earliest, it had the chance to understand what I'm doing with this. One, I'm trying to figure out my settings for OBS, the software that I'm using, and if you've been here for the last two, my settings have not been right. I haven't been able to live stream, so I decided to just come on and do the live stream without setting things up beforehand. I think that's where my error came in. So, but what I'm getting ready to do is I'm getting ready to do a collage, and my image is going to be of a tiger, but not a regular tiger. This tiger is going to be neon, and I'll get his name and I'll put it down in the description. But there's a young artist that some of you have probably seen, who is. His work is just he's just extremely almost a savant in his abilities. I just love seeing his work. So I think he's like 16 years old, and his work doesn't look like he's 16 years old. He's amazing. So I'll put the name and the channel down in the description so you can see it. But that's what I'm going for, kind of in his vibe, not necessarily his style. And if you haven't seen him, I'm going to put that down. Please go check him out, because when I say I'm pretty much enamored with his work. It's amazing. So I think it still feels damp. So what I'm doing here is I'm just giving this a chance to dry. So let me see what we got going on down here. How do I place? Hey, Adrian, I see you're asking, how do I put my specs on? See, how do you choose where to place the paint? Do you have a method? Yeah, I do. Slap it down and go for it. That's the fun of it, is you really don't know what you're going to get. And truthfully, when I'm making papers just for collage work, I want a whole bunch of different papers and general color scheme, so that I can use it for shading, so I can use it for piecing things together. So basically my only goal when I put this down is to create enough paper that actually I can work with. So because this is a color group that I generally don't go with, I'm not really a neon kind of guy. Just really wanted to branch off in this area. So it's not an answer, but it's as close as I can get to one. See, what do we have? You're right, Debbie. Arizona's amazing. We moved here from Washington State, another beautiful place. But as we were driving just the other day, we were both commenting on the fact that every way you look, you can see the horizon line. When you look back behind us, the way my camera is facing, if you could see through the wall, you would see the mountains, and the mountains are nothing like I've ever seen before. If you've been out to Arizona, you know what I'm talking about. They're pretty barren, and you would think, well, it's pretty dusty and dirty, and how is that pretty? It really, the desert has its own beauty, and I've gotten so that I really do love it. I'm sorry about the shade, the shadow above. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Debbie. Very. It's the blue skies are incredibly blue, and we have probably, if for the United States, we have the most amount of sunny days of anywhere in the United States. We also have some of the highest heat for places that are inhabited. That Sahara has a little bit hotter above us. The Death Valley has hotter temperatures, but we're consistent. Today, I think, is 112 already. So, thank God I have my air conditioner, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to work out here. Okay, let me take you back down and we'll pull this one. I'll get smoother at that as time goes on. And again, I have to be careful, to be slow. And as I said, if it doesn't all come up, it's fine. And Kathleen's right. That gungy look is it's desirable for me. I want to see that gungy. I want to see that because it gives me something interesting to work with. Now, that's my personal taste. When I get things that stick this much, I can turn the plate over and actually pull the plate away from the paper. And that'll work a lot of times. I'll let this go a while. That's the other thing about the gel mediums. They have a different feel when you pull. So you have to be real careful. It's like orange in there. Orange in there too. Really can't see the fern. I can see it. You can see it up in here, a few places, but it's not really pronounced. That's okay, because it is, and with anything, tigers are in the forest, and this will be part of the foliage, yes, the leaves and what have you. So put that aside. So we got a blue, we got a blue-green, got an orange-yellow, got an orange so far. I think I need to do something. I think I need to do something yellow and black. Yellow and black would be very useful for this. So let me pull my black up. We'll get doing that. One of the things I like to do is wipe my tools down as I go along here, mainly because it makes cleanup a lot easier, and for me that's kind of important. I have multiple brayers here, and my reason for that is to give myself plenty light and dark brayers, so I'm not contaminating a lighter color with a dark, in this case a black. I can work with it, but not always what I'm looking for. Okay. I have another gel plate over here that I'm using to roll things off with. So if you're wondering what I'm doing over on that side, that's what it is. Okay, okay, let's see. I just want to put down some pattern that will work. Have using all stamps today. Nice. I said earlier, I get my stamps, these foam stamps, off of Joggles. Not familiar with Joggles? I think most people are. It's just a wonderful resource for getting tools. Most of my stencils and my stamps come from. See, as the paint gets more tacky, it'll actually pull up more paint, which it's doing now. Which means I'm going to have to let this dry for just a moment, and then I'm going to put down some yellow. Pull up my hair dryer. Just give it a dry. Debbie, yeah, there are jelly flakes with texture, but not necessarily intentionally. A good example, and I'll show you. I'm telling my tales out of class. This is what I'm working here, and I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see that, but this one has a lot of texture. It actually got the heat, and those are permanently into the gel plate. If I'm looking for that, it's good to use. But generally now I just use this as my roll-off. It seems to do a good job for me that way. Did I get dry enough? Hope that answered that. And I'm sorry if my head is getting into this frame too much. I think I'm going to do. Let's do the yellow. This is nickel azo yellow. It's a golden product. You don't really need this much paint. The reason I like with a jar, I like to use the palette knives. Just easier for me to control. This is gonna dry rather quickly, so I'm not even gonna wait for it. I'm just gonna throw some gel medium down. Okay, a couple more, and then I'm gonna call it a day. So like I said, I just wanted to make sure that I could actually get out there and get some things done. Piece. Again, this is my rice paper. You don't have to have one of these. This is called a Baron. But it does give you nice even pressure. It may look like I'm putting lots of weight down on it. I'm really not. I'm just getting a nice even amount of weight across the whole plate. It's all about making contact with all the papers, so you don't have partial adherence. That's what the whole point is. It glues itself to the paper, and you pull it up to release it from the plate. Let's see how this. I'm going to give it a little bit of a dryer up. Like I said, this thing, Julie, Art by Julie, is the one that set me onto this. I got it originally when I work with inks, but in this case, this is I use it. It's beautiful. it allows me to dry things. Now, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if this is getting in the way of being able to do. Yeah, that's fine, Debbie. I understand. I'm probably going to do one more after this, and call it a day. Okay. Iffy. Let's see what got. What I'm doing is I'm just releasing from the sides, and by doing that, kind of prevents or helps prevent losing some of the things right on the edges. Just take it from this side and pull it slowly. It's coming up nice and clean. You know, for me, when I'm printing, I always like to have a little bit of a warm up before I start, because that you kind of have to see where the plate is for the day. That's not a bad print. That's going to be very useful, because I can tear little pieces of that out, and it'll work at the line. Okay, let's look at to see what we did. I think we're going to call it at this point. We've got this one we just did. This was actually the first one we did. And that orange and the yellow will be very useful. Second, darkened it out a little bit with a little Payne's gray. The yellow and the orange, that's going to be extremely useful. For the foliage, this will be nice. You can't really see it, but you know, I can bring it out with other things. I can maybe do another one to get a little bit more of that fern going. And this is the sky blue that will be useful in the body of the neon tiger. So I want to thank you guys very much. Let me pull this back over. And I'm sure I'll get smoother with that as time goes on. I want to thank you guys for being here today. I appreciate if you could leave some comments down in the comment section. Let me know what went well, what didn't go well, if you guys have any suggestions. And I really do appreciate you guys being here. Let me get caught up just a little bit on some of the comments that I may have missed. Yeah, I think I said bye to Debbie as she was leaving. Okay, I think we're there. Okay, I will probably get back to doing my planned lessons as I get used to the software and how to do smoother transitions. So you can look forward to that in the near future. But for now, the few next that I do will be all about just getting used to the program, getting used to talking to the camera. So again, I want to thank you guys for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.